Larry, what's your position, Glock?
I'm a law enforcement district manager, and my territory is Guam, Hawaii, Northern California, and Northern Nevada.
Well, now, the Glock is pretty ubiquitous everywhere. I mean, it's in almost all the agencies. Matter of fact, in California alone.
Well, in my district alone last year, when I did the numbers, we're currently at 87% of law enforcement are using Glock pistols.
That is market domination. That's incredible. Well, you have something new for us in Glock this year. Tell me about it.
Well, this year, for 2010, we brought out the Glock 22 and Glock 17 Generation 4 pistol. And there's been some remarkable changes to the Glock.
So Generation 4, what's different?
On this gun here, the first thing people will notice is the texture on the grip has changed, okay? It's kind of like an RTF, but it's not as aggressive as the original RTF2. So we're calling this an RTF4 finish is what we're calling it.
All right.
Okay.
So a little more aggressive finish on, I can feel the difference right there.
Yep, on the sides. And everyone will know on the Generation 3 pistols that we had, it had sort of a smoother texture on the side with the check ring front and rear. Now that check ring is encompassing the whole grip, so it really gives you a firm grip to grab the gun.
All right.
The next thing they'll notice is the magazine catch. It's slightly larger now. It's also reversible, which means for those left-handed shooters, they can switch it to the other side and manipulate it just like a right-handed shooter would.
And I noticed it's actually kind of beveled a little bit too.
It does. It has a slight bevel to it, so when you're pushing on it, it almost feels like you're pushing it forward, but you're still pushing it straight in. But it gives that feeling
a little more positive.
Yep, a little more positive, and it is quick, but yet it still remains positive, so you don't have to worry about dropping mags at the wrong time.
All right. What else is different?
The big thing that was really requested by a lot of our customers was an interchangeable back strap. The interchangeable back strap right here is now more like a Glock SF, and people are familiar with the Glock 21 SF. Well, now on all the pistols that'll be coming out, we're going to have this reduced back strap, so it makes the grip smaller for smaller statured individuals. It'll come with two back straps, a medium, which would put the gun back to its standard size, and then a large, which would make it a larger grip, almost like a Glock 21.
Okay.
And it's real easy to do. The user themselves can do it. It'll come with a small tool. They'll remove the small pin that holds the grip in place. They'll put on the back strap that they choose, and then they'll replace it with a larger pin that'll hold it in place.
So they get to customize the gun a little bit. Without any risk of damaging anything, but it's going to fit their hand.
Absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely.
perfect.
And then the really, really big change, in my opinion, let me make sure this weapon here is clear, is they're going to notice there's been a change to the recoil spring system.
I see.
Okay? This is now a dual captured spring system, and it does change the impulse of the weapon. The Glock 40 caliber is a much softer shooting gun now, and I know that the smaller statured officers, or maybe some officers that have had problems in the past qualifying, those qualification scores are going to go up even higher. The other advantage to this system is, on the old system, on the single coil system that we had, you would have to replace that between 2,000 and 3,000 rounds on average. With this system here, 7,500 rounds. So now the maintenance cost for agencies is really starting to come down even further than it was before. So it's really been a huge improvement. I think the gun is going to do very, very well for Glock. It's been some amazing improvements.
Are any of these features upgradable on older Glocks? For example, on the recoil system?
Right. No, unfortunately they're not, because you'll notice on the front of the slide here, they've increased the capture ring on the slide, so it will not fit on the older frames and vice versa. Those frames won't work with the new slide.
Well, so this is going to give everybody a good excuse to go out and buy yourself another Glock, because you're going to need a Glock Gen 4.
Absolutely.
Sebastian, classic Old West style has a number of new holsters on the market, but this one in particular caught my eye. Tell me about it.
This is a woodsman's rifle scabbard.
Okay.
Can be worn in the back of in your back for rifle, shotgun, or some other kind of large weapon. We made it so it would hold at least 80 pounds.
Oh wow, a lot of weight.
Same deal like the fireman, where it's completely adjustable to whoever wears it. And it is made again for a rifle or a shotgun or Those type of weapons.
The idea was would be for the guys riding an ATV or hiking.
Horse, yeah,
Okay, hiking through the
so
woods.
they can take some of that weight off of their arms when they carry.
Oh yeah, when you're out in the field chasing grouse or sagehand, you can walk a lot of miles and get tired carrying that thing. You know, so it spreads the weight out. That's pretty neat.
Like the fireman going up the ladder and all that stuff.
That's the same harness system.
Same harness system, yes. Sir.
Okay, now this is an interesting vest. Show me what this is about.
This we call a second skin. It's a vest that has a concealment that's completely detachable. The holster will hold probably all the frames from a PPK to a 1911. And it's very lightweight. Velcro in the front. You can wear it on top of your, on the bottom of your jacket.
But where's the concealment?
The concealment is here.
Ah.
This holster will hold all the frames up to a 1911.
Okay, so it's out of sight, out of mind.
Out of sight, out of mind. Yes, and it's also constructed so it'll hold all the weight, and you're not going to have this effect.
And you originally developed these for some specialized law enforcement agencies,
yes,
right?
This was for the ICE people, the underground FBI people, who needed something for their backup holster. The holsters they were in the belts were too long here, so they wanted this longer. And I said, well, let's do this. And that's how this came about.
And then all the advantage and benefit of that as a way to carry.
It is quite popular.
We're going to test this product out, and we'll report to all of our members on GunTech just exactly how good it is and how it feels. Thank you, Sebastian. Forester Products is one of those companies that we as gunsmiths and reloaders have come to rely upon. Rod, Forester's been around for a long time. Tell me a little bit about the history of the company.
Well, Forester actually started about 1938. It was called Forster Brothers, and they actually made model airplane engines.
Oh, really?
Which are actually really some collector items today.
I bet.
Then, probably about in the 1950s, they got into the gunsmithing and reloading tools.
All right. So what do you have new for us this year?
Well, this year we have a 3-in-1 carbide cutter.
All right. What does that do?
This will actually fit on a regular case trimmer.
Okay.
Anyone that's had a case trimmer, even if it was made in 1950, this will fit right on it. This will actually trim to length, inside and outside chamfer your cases.
All in one stroke?
All in one stroke. Save 2 operations.
That's a handy little gizmo. And I imagine it's out of carbide?
Yes, it has carbide cutters. One of the blades will have the 14-degree angle in, and then it will cut to length. The other blade has a 30-degree to chamfer the outside of the neck.
Well, why don't you show us just for an example so everybody gets a visual on how it would work.
Okay. You have the stop on here just like if you were trimming the case. It works the same way. You have your pilot that goes in there on your size case. You're just going to turn it, come up to your stop. Your case is going to be done.
And give us the reasons why these functions are important.
Well, one of the main things for a lot of people is time, saving 2 operations. But more important than that is everything will be uniform on every case. You actually have the same chamfer on the inside, outside, and the length on every one.
So that makes loading the bullet and sizing the case easier.
Your pressures will be the same because everything is uniform. If you were doing that in separate ones, you might have a chamfer way deeper in one than you will the other. Your pressure is going to be different when you fire the bullet.
And if you want the greatest accuracy, consistency in reloading is where it's at.
That's right. Forster Products is where it's at.
All right. Thanks, Rod.
You're welcome.